The work you do in August will help you get the most out of your garden for the weeks ahead. Here are my 5 key jobs to get cracking on this month. First up, grab your secateurs and your garden twine and make a start on pruning and training your climbers. The thing is, most of them will have finished growing, many of them will have finished climbing by now, so you can turn your attention to keeping them contained and making them travel where you want them to go. One climber that a lot of people are confused about when it comes to the right time to prune and how to prune it is wisteria. July or August, when the flowers on the wisteria are faded and the foliage is there in abundance, is one of 2 times in the year that you want to prune it to encourage it to stay within bounds and to flower well next year. Look for the long shoots extending out of the plant and shorten them back to about a foot from where they come out of the stem and make your cut just above a bud. You can then shorten those foot-long shoots again in January to about finger length. You'll also find with wisteria at this time of year they produce seed pods. I'd also have a look inside the wisteria to see if there are any dead branches. You can cut those out as well. But be careful, don't just hack a wisteria back. Apply some judicial pruning and it'll renew every year, and with any luck start flowering again next spring. Climbing roses are another good candidate for pruning this month. With most varieties, the first flush of flowers will have been and gone by now, and the plant might not be producing any more. That's when you want to be looking for any dead wood, brown rather than green and leafless. Snip it out. Of course, not all climbers should be pruned at this time of year. If you're growing clematis, leave them until the winter or early spring, when you can cut them back to the ground in the case of some varieties, or back to about a metre high. Don't worry, they'll all come back with plenty of growth and flowers when spring turns to summer. Many climbers will have grown particularly vigorously this year, so now's a good time to check them to see if any new growth needs to be retrained onto the wall or the fence or the trellis where you're growing them. If you already have a wire support in place, get yourself some soft garden twine and wrap it once around the wire, then cross it and wrap it around the loose stem you're looking to tie in. That way you have cushioning between the plant and the wire. Repeat the process till all your wayward shoots are trained in. If you're wanting to plant new climbers, I'd wait another month until the heat of the summer has really died away. September is a good month to plant. One type of plant that can be planted in August, provided you don't let it dry out, is the evergreen hedge. The soil's warm now, and provided you don't let it dry out, but keep it gently moist, root growth will be quite rapid in terms of establishment, setting up the plants for the winter ahead so that come the spring, they'll grow away rapidly. In terms of what type of hedge to plant, well, that depends on what you want the hedge to do. If it's privacy you're looking for, evergreen hedges are the best option because they won't lose their leaves in winter. Euonymus is a great option to create a dense hedge. Depending on variety, it can grow up to 4 metres high, but there are smaller ones too, and you can get different varieties, some with variegated leaves. Another option is the Portugal laurel, with its bright crimson leaf stalks and glossy leaves. It can grow up to a foot a year, and it'll take clipping really well. If you're looking for another really fast grower, a good option is Elaeagnus ebingii. It thickens up quickly, and the underside of the leaves are a lovely creamy white colour. Another good reason to plant an evergreen hedge is to reduce noise pollution. A great option, if that's your goal, is yew. It takes clipping really well, but don't plant it in soggy soil. That's the only thing it doesn't really cope with. Another good option is Thuya occidentalis. Like yew, It'll create a dense hedge that's ideal for soundproofing, and what's more, when you crush the fronds, it's fragrant. Just be careful not to prune it back to brown wood, because from there it won't regenerate. August is a month when lots of the garden is being cut back, whether it's the lawn or hedges, deadheading or pulling up weeds. There's lots of material that's going onto a compost heap. In summer, thanks to high temperatures, compost rots down much more rapidly than it does in winter, thanks to increased bacterial activity. So summer is a great time to get cracking with your compost. If you've never built a compost heap, or you've got a really tiny garden, then a good place to start is with a compost bin made from pressure-treated softwood. You can buy them in kits, and they're relatively easy to put together. A 1 metre by 1 metre bin can take up to 650 litres of waste, and if you get one where the boards slot in and out, it's easy to access the compost when it's ready to be used. Then you're ready to start creating your compost. I always begin with waste from the garden. Herbaceous perennials that have been cut down from the summer can go in. Leaves, particularly soft leaves, are also a good addition. And finally, grass clippings, but mix all the ingredients together to get your heap to heat up fast. You can also add some waste from the home. Shredded paper will rot down well, as will cardboard. Crushed eggshells have lots of calcium, so they're good to add to the mix, and so are coffee grounds, which are rich in nitrogen. In terms of kitchen waste, potato peelings, banana skins, carrot peelings and lettuces and broccoli will add sustenance to your heap. Once you've got all your ingredients together, put them into your bin and keep mixing it up so it rots down faster. Then trample it so the compost doesn't dry out. Add water to help accelerate the rotting, and finally, an old blanket over the top will lock the moisture in and stop it drying out. In about a year's time, you can withdraw your very own nourishment from your compost heap and start adding it to your beds and borders. My next job for August isn't nearly so arduous, and it involves one of my favourite groups of plants, planting ornamental grasses. Adding grasses to your garden in late summer keeps the interest going right into winter, and lots of them will go through the winter in the state they are, dried, but looking wonderful, particularly when they're frosted. For me, they're great glue in borders between contrasting flower colours. Here are 4 varieties that I particularly like. A classic is the ponytail grass, Stipa tenuissima. Like most grasses, it's drought tolerant and it seeds itself throughout the border. And on late summer evenings when the light's low, its delicate fronds shiver, especially if there's a light breeze. A total contrast to the ponytail grass is Imperata. This variety, Red Baron, has bright red tips, and it's a perfect background to darker coloured perennials like Chocolate Cosmos. Another classic is Miscanthus. This variety, Little Zebra, has striped leaves. Miscanthus is a great background plant and makes a fantastic backdrop to brighter flowers. But for something a bit different, a great ornamental grass is Pennisetum villosum, also known as feathertop. With flower stalks that look like hairy caterpillars, it's a real little showstopper. And finally, my last job for August is to be kind to yourself this month in the garden. This year, in the UK and Europe, it's been a tough time in the garden. High temperatures, constant sunshine, very little water, and a lot of us have had to watch our gardens simply burning up. It's easy to get dispirited and down, but don't. The rains will come, and there'll be parts of your garden which will survive. Even the lawn, which has seemed to have been burnt to a crisp, it'll come back. So Be patient, it will come, and you will realise that even in tough times like those we've had this particular month, it's still worth being a gardener. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click below. It's going to be a fantastic year in our new garden with tips and inspiration, so why not join us?